So you want to head out on an epic RV road trip, one that's filled with beautiful locations that you and your family will talk about for years to come. Maybe one that looks like this.
But you're not really sure how to plan it. Well, buckle your seatbelts, pull your phones out, and get ready for the trip of a lifetime.
After driving over 10,000 miles across the United States, we have relied on a lot of travel apps. Now, these travel apps have made our lives easier, safer, and honestly, more fun.
So these apps will also prevent what we call ATS. ATS, or more commonly known in the RV world as Angry Traveler Syndrome, has the following symptoms: red face, yelling, unreasonable requests, four-letter words, confusion, and gas. If you think you or a loved one has ATS, please give them a snack, maybe a drink of water, and possibly a hug. So number one, if you only have to watch this far and find out our favorite app, it is Campendium. This is the must-have app that we use all the time. We use Campendium to find where we're gonna camp, RV parks, campgrounds, BLM land. We use it to find dump stations. This is the must-go-to app for almost 95% of the information that we need while on the road. And some of you might be asking, what's a campground, RV park versus BLM land? So let's break it down just a little bit. So RV park, that is kind of self-explanatory. It is an actual RV park. Generally, you're gonna have hookups, you're gonna have electricity and sewage. This is, if it's the first time on the road, you're probably gonna wanna start at an RV park because it has all the amenities that you're going to need. Second, a campground. Now this is kind of a little bit more rustic. We tend to like campgrounds because they actually are a little bit more remote and sometimes more beautiful than an RV park. Now this might just be actually a parking spot for your RV. No hookups, no power, but they kind of vary from place to place. And then third, BLM land. What is that?
It's the Bureau of Land Management.
And so this is just free land that you're able to use because of your tax dollars. So you're able to just park out in nature and enjoy it like God intended to. But the thing is, there's nothing out there. So you have to bring everything you need in and take it all with you when you leave.
Now you'll find way more BLM land in the western part of the United States than the eastern part of the United States. I mean, when you're out in Nevada and Colorado and Montana, there's BLM land everywhere. But as you get to the East Coast, that really dwindles down. Number 2 on our list is the app Alltrails. Now we have been using Alltrails for years. And Alltrails is a great application that allows you to find amazing hikes all throughout the US. So when you log into Alltrails, you can filter by destination, difficulty of the hike, you can save which hikes you want to go on, and you can download the map of the hike offline. That means when you're up in the mountains exploring, you don't need cell service and you probably won't have it, so you still want to have your Alltrails map. Now, when you're out RVing and camping, one of the best things to do is to get outside and go hiking. So Alltrails is an absolute must for your road trip.
Number 3, Harvest Hosts. Now, we were a little bit skeptical when we heard all the promises that Harvest Hosts offered. You can stay at breweries, museums, farms, absolutely free. And it turns out you can. That's right. But there's one little catch. You do have to pay the annual membership fee, which is about $80, and we have a discount, if you want to check out the link below, for Harvest Hosts. But we've used it and we stayed at the coolest place ever. Where was it?
We stayed at an alpaca farm in Oregon and it was so amazing. We had our Airstream right next to the alpacas, we ate our dinner right next to the alpacas, and we even got to pet some alpacas. I felt like a little girl in heaven.
Now the thing is, with most of these places, you're not gonna have a long-term stay at a Harvest Host destination. Probably 1 to 2 nights while you enjoy the amenities that they have, be it a brewery or a winery or an alpaca farm. But it is a nice addition to all the apps that we recommend.
Number 4 on our list is Google Maps. Now, this has real-time route planning for your trip right there on your app. And what you're gonna wanna do before you head out on your trip is you're gonna wanna download your maps offline. This means that when you don't have any cell service and you're traveling, you'll still be able to navigate easily on Google Maps.
But a lot of you are going, how do I download maps offline? We're gonna show you right now. So when you open the apps, you will actually click on the top right, and there'll be an option that says Offline Maps. Click that, and then you will click Select Your Own Map. So it'll open up the area where you are, but you can actually search for a different spot. So we're gonna go way out west. Let's find something. Let's zoom way out. Put the square around the corner that you want, click Download, and it'll start downloading. And just like that, you have all your maps downloaded offline. One other thing about offline maps, the great thing is that it does actually cache or store basically all the stops and some direction. So when you download those maps, if you're in the mountains and you have absolutely zero service, let's say you're looking for a hotel or a restaurant, you can actually search for it, and if it's in the box that you highlighted, most of the time that will show up, and it might give you directions. If it doesn't give you directions, you can kind of use the map like you would old school and just follow the roads.
Really? Old school maps, huh?
Yeah. All right, number 5. Now, you might be watching and saying, I don't own an RV, I don't have a trailer, but I want to get out there and do an epic road trip. The app for you is Outdoorsy, and this is the best app to use to rent a trailer or RV of some sort to get out there and explore. Now, there's other apps like Cruise America, and they do offer RVs, and I'm not saying that they're bad, but Outdoorsy is better because Outdoorsy offers high quality rentals of people who actually own them, whereas Cruise America is a big company that has this fleet of very simple RVs, whereas Outdoorsy will be a little bit nicer.
Outdoorsy is like your Airbnb for RVs. So you can rent directly, peer-to-peer, and there's reviews from other people who have rented through these people before. So you can rent a camper van, you can rent an RV, you can rent a travel trailer. Anything you want is on Outdoorsy. And sometimes they have deliveries, so you can have your RV delivered right to your location, or other times they'll drop it off for you at an RV park or a campground. It's up to you guys, and you'll be able to support other people, other RVers in the industry, which is really wonderful. Okay, number 6 is the app Allstays. Now, a lot of people love this app because it gives you all of the information you'll ever need when you're RVing. It will tell you all about RV parks, if there's a Walmart, if there is a campground coming up. But I think the main thing that we use Allstays for is that it gives you height clearances on different bridges on roads. Our Airstream is only 9 feet and 6 inches tall, whereas other RVs can be 12 feet plus tall. So you won't be able to clear certain bridges, especially on the East Coast. So download Allstays, and when you're planning out your route, make sure that you have clearance on all the bridges that you'll need to get to your destination.
So one of our favorite additions to our Airstream is our lithium batteries and our Victron inverter. Now the great thing about this inverter is the app. The Victron app does all sorts of great things, all via Bluetooth. It allows us to monitor our power consumption. It allows us to turn our inverter on and off so that we can actually save power, and it just gives us an overall health of our batteries. And so if you're a person who loves to boondock and you have lithium batteries or just batteries in general, you're gonna be checking that almost constantly because that is one of your critical utilities that you're gonna wanna know the status of almost all the time. So the Victron app, absolutely love it.
Now finally, our number 8 is a weather app, because weather can make or break your trip when you're RVing and on a road trip. So it's imperative that you know what type of weather you're getting into. Now you have the weather app on your iPhones, you have the Weather Channel app, you have AccuWeather. Now there are a plethora of weather apps, and you have to figure out which one's right for you. Now we just use the weather app on the iPhone, and we track what weather we're getting into, because if it's gonna be really windy, that's not gonna be comfortable if you're camping.
So I was out there shooting a time lapse, and the cold front came through, and oh my God, it is absolutely insane. Look at this.
If it's gonna be raining for the next few days, maybe plan a different route, because RV travel is very weather dependent. We hope that these apps will help you have a seamless and safe RV road trip.
Now some of you might be asking, where's the Airstream? We haven't seen it in almost a month or so. Well, have no fear. It is safe and sound at our friend's house in Colorado, and we will be back inside of it next week. We are in LBI on a little family vacation. LBI is in New Jersey,
Say it right, Scott. New Jersey.
Having a little family vacation, a little family time, but we leave here too soon to go back to the Airstream, and we've got some stuff in store for all of you. But if you have any questions about the apps, let us know your comments below. Maybe let us know your favorite.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, I'm Colette.
And I'm Scott.
And we are Romaroo.
And if you liked what you saw, smash that like button.
Ooh, ooh. Comment below, and we will see you next time back in the Airstream.